Hey guys, who's up for a little anti-haul slash haul of just a few things in this video? I feel like this is the time of year, January in particular, we are just showered with tons of new releases from pretty much every brand, and a lot of it is so tempting. Like, there are some things that really caught my eye, and I realize I'm looking through Ulta's website, I'm like, it's all catching my eye, I'm getting really overwhelmed. I need to, sort of mentally pare it down and really focus in on the things that I want to put my time into testing, And I've said it before, I'll say it again, anti-hauls sometimes rub me the wrong way because I think they're so based on assumptions of products you've never tried. And I think some people get a little carried away with all the descriptions of something that they haven't even put their hands on yet. So this is not really going to be about what the quality of something is, because I'm not going to even try to go there because I haven't used it. But it's more going to be my rationale, my thought process in terms of what I think I might need or want, or what's drawing me in initially, and then, the reconsiderations I might make to say, hey, step it back a little bit. But there were a few things that I just could not resist, and I will get to those at the end of the video. But first off, Ulta, you're the guilty one. I found a lot of this stuff on Ulta's website. Oh my gosh, and you guys, I've got my coffee nook going up here. I can't wait to show that in an upcoming video sometime. It's really cute. Well, to be honest with you, it's nothing like out of this world, but I think it's adorable, and it's just nice to have coffee in this room, right? Here's the first tempting product, the Amrezy palette from ABH. I feel like it can be tempting to just see ABH put out another one of these palettes and think, okay, I just need to automatically get it. And I think for a while I was like that, just kind of autopilot. I need that palette. This one does look beautiful. I mean, the outer packaging really speaks to me, the sparkly pink, I love that. The look of the palette on the inside, you've got this real pop of turquoise and then some berry type shades that are also really standing out to me. And I actually had this palette in my cart. I really did see a nice dark to light range in this palette. That really tempted me too. But then I stop and think, what do I have? I have a lot already. What is really dialing me in on this? Could it be the packaging? That pretty pink packaging? Well, yeah, maybe so. Then what if I just cover up some of the bright pop colors in this palette? What if you cover up the blue and the hot pink? Then what am I left with? Well, I'm left with something that at a glance kind of reminds me a lot of modern Renaissance, So once I start sort of looking at it in that way, I'm like, okay, I can probably do without this, So that is my decision with that one. I convinced myself to skip it. Talk about tempting. Revlon Skin Lights is back again. And this is something I remember my high school days browsing Walmart and seeing all the Revlon Skin Lights stuff. To me, it felt like some of the first glowy skin stuff that the drugstore ever had. And time passes, I remember at least once since then, it has been brought back in different formats, like liquid illuminators and different things. And here I see on Ulta's website, they've got 3 shades of the Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighters. They also have a take on bronzer that may be kind of like a glowy bronzer. And then the Face Glow Illuminator comes in 2 colors. And so that's going to be your glowy liquid highlighter mixer type product. There are a lot of brands that have that type of thing. And that's ultimately what's holding me down on this and going to keep me from buying it, because I know I've got in this drawer several things from L'Oreal, different lines where it's like a glowy primer type product. I've got that. I've got more highlights than I need, more bronzers than I need. And just because it says Skin Lights and it's got a little sentimental value and I'm like, oh, Revlon used to do that, I really think I'll be able to get by without it. Even though sometimes when things are brought back from the dead into certain brands, I really take note, but I'm going to pass on all that stuff. All right, the brand Catrice has several of these 12 color eyeshadow palettes. They're priced at $14.99. Immediately when I look at them, I think of the Sigma eyeshadow palettes. I'm not sure why. It's something about the way the shadows are placed and rimmed and whatever. But they've got one really warm one that has some kind of fiery orange shades, one that seems to be kind of a cool neutral, semi-cool though. It's got some peaches in there. And then one that has some really rich looking berry colors. And they all seem like wearable palettes. They all seem like the kind of thing I could like. I really can't say what the quality might be, but I've got to look at these and say, it's it's already in my collection. Like berry eyeshadows, yes, they're all over the place. I'm never sitting around here hurting like, gosh, if I only had a burgundy eyeshadow, you know, I've got it. I mean, that would maybe be the most tempting one for me, but I'm gonna sit that out. I think the price looks good for 12 eyeshadows, and if the quality's nice, you know, it may be a worthwhile thing for some people. I'm not like encouraging the world to pass on these, but I know I don't need them, so I am gonna step back on that, even though they were tempting, and it would be typically the kind of thing I might just grab for. Physicians Formula seems to have a lot of new things out. As you'll see, a couple of them did actually pull me in to where I bought them, but they also have this Natural Defense Sheer Line of Defense Foundation with sunscreen. It has an SPF 30. So tempted by this because I'm like, oh, I sometimes really like these tinted moisturizer type things. Like sometimes they flop and look like nothing, and sometimes they're absolutely perfect. I mean, the Nude Sticks tinted cover was a total hit for me, and I feel like I'll forever be sort of scoping out the drugstore for something that's really a lot like that. In fact, I think this Maybelline Dream Urban cover may be quite a bit like the effect I'm getting from that. But anyway, Physicians Formula has this product, and I'm like, oh, I was so about to get it, but I reminded myself I am kind of trying to resolve on foundations to use a lot of what I've got. I have plenty. And I just kind of thought, well, if this turns out to really be a hit, maybe it'll stay around and I'll have my chance to try it in time, but I think I need to get more use out of the existing products I have. And I've got a lot of lightweight things of that nature, you know, with the SPF infused. But if anybody from Physicians Formula is watching, I am a little turned off by what they did with the Healthy Foundation. That was not out very long. And to me, I thought that was a very popular product. It seemed to get really widely good reviews. It was an Emily Award winner for me. Like, I really like that. But apparently that's already being retired. And when we've got that quick dropping of products from brands, I think it does make me look more skeptically at their new, skeptically? That word's just not hitting with me this morning. When a new thing comes out, it makes you look at it and go, well, I hope that's not just a here and gone product, because then it becomes irrelevant, right? You keep raving on something that nobody can get their hands on. That's just frustrating. So anyway, I'm skipping that. One more palette at Ulta that really tempted me. I thought the packaging is so stinking cute. It's the Tarte Sugar Rush BU eyeshadow palette. All these hexagons, I don't know, all fit together. Something about that, I love it. I love how certain ones have little bees on them. I love how certain ones are stamped with the honeycomb design. But then I stopped myself, I said, what if none of that was there? What if it wasn't shaped cute? What if there were no bees? What if there were no honeycombs? And then I'd think, well, that's probably a palette I already have then. So I stepped off, but that is so cute. And I do think the colors look really pretty and I would love them, but I do have them already. Let's jump on over to Sephora now. Natasha Denona has this palette called Mini Glam Eyeshadow Palette. Mini's in the name, so therefore I immediately perk up and go, I always do when it's a mini. And it's also $25. I see that price tag and I think, that's a purchase that maybe could just kind of slide in here. Like, yes. And just a little 5-color palette. I love the edited down nature of those little palettes. And it does look so complete. You know, you got your light, it appears to be matte creamy shade, your dark brown, several shimmers. But before I actually pulled the trigger and I asked myself, do I need this? Do I think I'm really gonna regret not getting this? And the answer to that would have to ultimately be no. Even though it might be that nice, quick, easy purchase, I just don't think I need those shades. Okay, the brand Kaja. This brand is something I may have looked at a time or two and thought, oh, it's kind of gimmicky. You know, they had their heart stamp blush that I got in a kit shortly before the holidays, and I actually really turned out to like that. And when I saw this lipstick, this Earhart lightweight, what's the name of it? Natural Finish lipstick, I thought that looks so adorable. Like, it's heart-shaped. Then I start browsing through the color tones and I feel like, gosh, maybe, you know, 3 of those different colors I might really like. And then I start thinking, okay, so which one? And I kind of settle in on one that I think would really be beautiful. But then I start looking at the heart shape and I think, would that really be practical? Or could I just see myself complaining about that? You know, like the fact that it's not shaped like a normal bullet and you just grab for it and you start throwing it on and then you got like clown lips because it's all going around the outside. I don't know. I suspect I might have that complaint about it because I can be that practical at times. But I can also look at something heart-shaped and be like, oh, it's hearts. Wouldn't that be a cute little Valentine's gift maybe? Maybe, but do I need my lipstick to be shaped like a heart? No. Here's another biggie that I seriously considered, very, very seriously. The Tatcha Serum Stick Treatment and Touch-Up Balm. I love the idea of a touch-up balm. They say this is a concentrated treatment. It's got hyaluronic acid, good for any skin types, and skincare concerns that it would cater to would be fine lines and wrinkles, dryness, dullness, uneven texture. I've talked about using like a different sort of balmy stick to actually later in the day sort of press on your under eye area, and when you do that it can take away the look of like a dry under eye. I know there was e.l.f. had a moisture stick for a while, and now they have one that's more like cooling. It's this one, the Prep and Hydrate Balm. I could do the very thing that I think that Tatcha is going to do, which is get a little bit of that on my finger and then kind of press it into the appearance of any fine lines on my under eye, and it kind of takes that away. But I've not only got this one, I've got like 3 or 4 others too, so that ultimately stopped me because I'm like at capacity in this top drawer that holds my primers and concealers. It sounds like it would be great, and it's probably even better ingredients and even more nourishing to the skin. So again, this is not me ranting on the quality of Tatcha and saying, well, therefore I don't need it. I really would like to have it, but I don't think I absolutely need it because I have enough products of that kind. But what it did spur me to do was to think about what I already have and definitely use that if this technique interests me, which it does, to take something and late in the day, if you've got to revamp your makeup, you get a little hydration on your fingers and you just kind of press it into any little lines you see. It really makes a difference. Assuming you don't use too much, it can visibly freshen the look of your makeup. All right, Violet Voss has this new fun size palette. There's another word that like trips my trigger. I'm like, ooh, fun size. It's the Sweet Violet palette. The purples. These purples look so good. I mean, it's varying tones of purple, cooler, more bluish ones, really pure looking matte purple, some pinks. There's like a peach and a real true blue in there. It's only 10 shades and I feel like $18. Oh my gosh, I'm so tempted. I feel like I'm practically sitting here talking myself into it now. Do I actually need this? I mean, it looks so good, and I know I have one other like small Violet Voss palette and it really is pigmented and nice, so maybe I can't honestly remember why I had the restraint to pass on this. And oh my gosh, look at this look. Look at this look. I mean, Springtime Goddess. I might go for it. I really might. I can't come up with any more reasons why I don't need that. I'm stuck. If you want to try to talk me out of it, tell me in the comments section. I mean, I do have some purpley palettes, but they're a little less bright than that. I'm thinking of a couple of different purpley ones from Viseart that are beautiful and they're purpley, but they're a little more subdued in the overall brightness of color. And some of these looks that they've shown, I mean, that's what's really like, okay, to be continued. Hey y'all, I'm human here. These things happen. Okay, the Fenty Full Frontal Volume Lift and Curl Mascara. Let me pull this one up. Simply in the title, you know, it's speaking to the things I need. Lift and curl. You know, I want something that's gonna hold that shape. I also really liked the look of the brush. It seems kind of full, yet tapered toward the tip, which I really do like a nice tapered brush because as it gets smaller toward the tip, that means it's easier to get into your inner corners. And then they show a side view of it where it looks like it's really, you know, skinnier when you turn it sideways. So I'm kind of intrigued by it. It says the flat side defines curls and the fat side loads and lifts. I mean, I'd like to try it, but I'm looking at my mascara drawer here and I've got too many currently in the rotation. You know, too many opened up mascaras. I'm loving my Superhero. I'm loving that new Maybelline, the Falsies Lash Lift. I just recently started trying this Tarte Big Ego, which but I'm still going to use it some more. So with this Fenty one, I've kind of put a hold on it. I don't think it's going anywhere. You know, I'm sure they're not going to like launch a mascara and then boom, no more mascara. Like I don't think it's going to be taken away anytime soon. So I'm going to hold off and wait on that. So that, guys, is pretty much my anti-haul. That's the stuff that I am saying, boom, I'm not going for, except that little Violet Voss palette. That looks so nice. But would you like to hear the things that in the name of reviews, I felt I really wanted to go for, and in the name of my own personal interest? This palette from Physicians Formula. From the moment this came out and I saw pictures of it, I knew I wanted it, and then I started getting multiple tweets and messages from people saying like, this is the creamiest, best palette ever, like you really need to try it, it's really your style. And so I thought, okay, I will get it. Now first off, Physicians Formula, What's up with that? Can we not do a solid lid on here? Come on now. They put the utmost packaging into those thick butter bronzers, you know, and then we put out a palette and it's got to have this. We can do better. But this is what it looks like on the inside, and there's some rose sort of embossed shades, and then these ones look like kind of speckled eggs, you know, like little speckled Easter eggs. And actually there's a couple of these that have a little more of the appearance of a satin finish. But the mattes and satins that I worked with today, I've got that on my eyes right now. They're so soft. Like, you actually put your brush in and you're gonna find you have a little excess to tap off. Like, they're very soft, but they're also very, very blendable. The couple of these shades that I used, I felt like with a brush I wasn't quite getting the color payoff they were capable of, and I needed to go in with my finger. I used a little bit of this one and some of that one today. So that's kind of what's happening on my lid, and then the crease and above are like this matte shade and this one, and I've got a little bit of the brown and this shade mixed and smudged on my lower lash line. So I'm really not over the moon with those little pebbly speckled looking shimmers, but I do like the mattes a lot. Again, not uncommon shades for me, but I did really want to see what Physicians Formula was doing with a palette like this. And it does smell like roses, and that's very satisfying to me. But guys, like a palette like this, you sit something heavy down on that and you could easily gouge those shadows. So they need to step up the packaging, and I think they need to step up those shimmers as well, and not get so obsessed with like, oh, it's gotta be something different. Like, it looks cute, but it needs to transfer onto the eyes a little better. So I semi-regret that. I saw that Pixie is now available through Ulta's website, and I, in a recent video, had a lot of requests when I was talking about neutral palettes, and this comment was really like thumbs up. People wanting a cool palette that didn't have a bunch of purple or rose colored shades in it. And then I see this from Pixie and I think this might be what people want, and I really wanted to try it as a cool palette option. It says Eye Reflection Shadow Palette in Natural Beauty, and look how cool this thing is. Like, is this what you're going for, guys? Is this what you're wanting? Because it's got that absence of mauve and purple, and it's like dark cool browns and kind of stony shades here. Some taupey shimmers, a little bit of bronze happening right here, but like that's kind of as warm as it gets. And I'd love to try this and test the quality. I haven't even touched it yet. So this is something that's on my to-do list. And I thought maybe I could report back to some of you cool palette lovers or people who are just searching for something that is cool and yet kind of affordable, gives you some options, and has enough sort of like transition shades to get you from point A to point B. This might be that kind of palette. So if you're interested in a review, let me know. And then this is the Sheer Sunshine palette from Pixie. And yeah, I know I like their cheek stuff. And here you've got bronzers, you've got shimmery bronzers, a couple of blushes, several highlighters. Here I'm wearing all of this today. Like, these is my bronzer, this is my blush, and this one's my highlight today. And it's all really pigmented, really easy to apply. And I think maybe some more playtime with both of these palettes and a review might be in order. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, I didn't need the cheek palette, but gosh, it is really beautiful. I noticed also in this rosé line that Physicians Formula is doing, they have a velvet lip color, and my mind immediately went to my NARS Velvet Lip Glide pencil. I thought, I wonder if there's a shade that could dupe Dolce Vita, which I love this. This is like the ultimate soft rosy color, and I'm gonna swatch it out for you. Like, it's beautiful because it's a hint of red, but it's not too deep and dark. It's like your perfectly pigmented rosy lips. And this one from Physicians Formula, it really has kind of a similar feel and glide, but I feel like the color comes off a bit more earthy. It just looks, it pulls a little more brownish on my lips, whereas this one just has this hint of brightness and lightness, Dolce Vita does. So they're not far from one another, and it's definitely a nice feeling formula in these little jumbo sticks. It's just not a dead-on dupe. Of course, shopping online, you're trying to find a dupe. The chances of that are pretty slim, but I thought I'd go for it. And finally, the last thing I could not resist. This is from Revlon. They have a new Shine lipstick. And class, what do we remember that was shaped like this? lip butters. I'm thinking, are lip butters back all over again? Maybe. This is the shade Glossed Up Rose, and it is what I've been wearing throughout the whole video. I think it's a very pretty color. I think it does look like kind of a fusion of lipstick and lip gloss. It's got that beautiful shine, maybe even a little more shine than I remember the lip butters having, but it's thinner feeling than the L'Oreal Coleridge shines. It's almost a hint more greasy feeling, like it's that thin. It's got a beautiful glide and really nice pigmentation, but there's just a little more thinness on the lips, especially at the onset. Now that I've had this on for about a half hour or so, I'm not feeling quite as thin, maybe just because there's been a bit of wear down. The scent on it, like the lightest ever sweetness or vanilla type scent, but I just got one. I just wanted to see what the formula was like and if it needed further investigation. Again, my initial reaction is that I don't like it as well as the L'Oreal Coleridge shines, because those just had like kind of a thickness, a moisturization sort of in the feeling of them. And most definitely the look of lipstick fused with lip gloss, like a beautiful shine. This accomplishes the shine, but the feel isn't quite as rich, but I'd be open to trying some more colors. This is a very pretty shade and it does coordinate nicely with the eye, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, give it a thumbs up if you'd like to see more of this kind of video. Again, anything I chose not to get, I'm not trying to trash those products. I'm not trying to make assumptions really about them. I'm just kind of trying to take you through my thought process as I trudge through all this new makeup that we get exposed to, and how do you ultimately weed through it and decide that's what I want to try or that's what I don't want to try. And as you can see, I do think your requests and your feedback to me does really motivate me on certain things. Like, you want that perfect cool palette. Okay, I think I found it. I want to try that for everybody. The rosé thing was kind of recommended to me. Finding a possible dupe. All those things really interest me. What I can more easily talk myself out of is like, okay, you don't need another foundation. Or most different neutral palettes, I'm trying to be a little bit better about just seeing them and saying, no, I got that. So thank you guys again, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.